Hi, welcome to Chicks and Salsa. What's up, my girls?
Hey,
Hello.
hey.
How are
And
you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Carrie, how are you holding on, honey?
Every day is a new day.
It truly is.
Yes.
Well, you both ladies have been in my prayers, and I think right now we may all have a little Megan envy because she is out there representing us in 806 Sports over doing the NCAA tournaments in her area of Texas. So, yay.
That's
She's
Um,
at
awesome.
she's doing, isn't it Texas A&M NIT women's game? I think that's what I saw her post as. But regardless, holy cow, how exciting is that?
I know. Go, girl. Look at us making a name for ourselves. Go, Megan. Go, Megan. Get your groove on. Well, we have an action packed show tonight. We're going to go over a few things. So our girl Candy here had a great idea, and that's to do the influential women in sports. Tonight, we're going to highlight Billie Jean King. We're also going to close out with Miss Carrie highlighting the Haydenettes. We're also going to go over some NCAA upsets as well as an update on John Morant. And everybody keep repping Megan. Check out her page on Facebook and check all of us out. And then, so let's go ahead and start. Candy. Oh, before we start, I've got to give a shout out to my friend Amber. Today is her 5-year anniversary of being in remission from breast cancer. Amber, you are a hero, and we are so proud of you, and we love you. And now off to Candy with a little Billie Jean King knowledge.
Well, we decided that since we're a women's sports show, what better way for us to honor, but to have a segment, women in sports and influential women. And as I thought about it, I'm like, who has been one of the most influential women in sports that started way back when? Like, I mean, I'm old, let's face it.
Not that old.
It's okay. I'm okay with being old. It's okay. And I thought about it and I'm like, well, one of the ladies that I think has been one of the most influential and inspirational to all women is Billie Jean King. She was born November 22nd in 1943. She's a former #1 world tennis player. She won 39 major titles, 12 in singles, 16 in women's doubles, and 11 in mixed doubles. She was a member of the victorious United States team in 7 Federation Cups and 9 Whitman Cups. For 3 years, she was the captain. She has been an advocate for gender equality and has long been a pioneer for equality and social justice. In 1973, at age 29, she won the Battle of the Sexes tennis match against the 55-year-old Bobby Riggs. That was probably one of the most iconic tennis matches that we've all heard of. She's also the founder of the Women's Tennis Association and the Women's Sports Foundation. Uh, she she's in the International Tennis Hall of Fame. She was a joint winner with John Wooden as Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year award. She has won the Time Persons of the Year award. She has also received the Presidential Medal of Freedom. She was inducted to the National Women's Hall of Fame. The USTA National Tennis Center renamed in New York City, renamed it the USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center. She has won BBC's Sports Personality of the Year Lifetime Achievement Award. And she was also awarded the French Legion of Honor just last year.
Oh, wow.
What
That's
all those
awesome. What a career.
Yeah. Can you believe? I mean, all of that. And the fact that she's been such a pioneer for gender equality. I think that's what speaks volumes, because we know we've talked about it on this show that we're all for, bringing more women's sports into the forefront, giving it more attention, and the quality part. She's been an inspiration.
Yeah, she has been. Like, I've heard about her all my life. And Candy, do you see that compliment on the screen for you, my dear?
Oh, where did I see? Let's
She
see.
passes for early 30s.
Aw,
Hey,
thank you.
bringing snow. What up,
I'll
homie
take
G?
it.
Um,
So
that
interesting that you did that. I was watching Sports Center this afternoon, and they were talking about the how the women's soccer team in the United States has caused a ripple effect and change across the world in the women's sports and such. But they brought on, and you're just going to have to forgive me because names don't stick right at the moment. But it was a past captain of the U.S. soccer's team, and I'm going to say 90s, in the 90s was what I think I remember saying. She's now um, she now works with ESPN. But she said that she has always looked up to and used Billie Jean as a role model and a resource and a friend. And so Billie Jean was even talked about today on SportsCenter. I was like, how cool is that?
Mm-hmm.
that's really cool.
I didn't know who I should pick for the first one. And I'm like, well, she's one of the early ones that I think we all, and we're going to feature more as we, every week. It's going to be somebody different. And obviously that we're going to come all the way into like now. But I figured, you gotta go back in history to, because I think sometimes we forget history.
Right. And honestly, if I'm sitting here thinking about things, she's going to be the first. She and Navratilova, I'm going to say the name wrong, and the other tennis player. Those are the two. Martina, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But they are the two women that I remember, like throughout my life, has been advocates for women's rights, women in sports, and so that's quite the right person, I think, to start off our women in sports. I think so.
And if anybody has any suggestions on who y'all want us to cover a little bit of next week, please let us know. I am any one of us. You can also put it on our Three Chicks in a Page, Three Chicks in a Pod Facebook page. Cannot talk tonight either. Sorry. I had some technical difficulties at work, so I was getting tongue-tied with tech support today.
So can I just want to add a little bit more.
Go for it.
Margaret Court, who won more Grand Slam titles than anyone, has said that Billie Jean King is the greatest competitor she's ever known. Chris Everett, winner of 18 Grand Slam titles, has said she's the wisest human being that I've ever met and has vision people can only dream about. She's a mentor, and she's given me advice about my tennis, my personal life, on dealing with my parents, and even how to raise her children. And she doesn't have any.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, she's just, everybody compliments her. She's just a good role model, and you don't always see that, especially like in today's day and age. There's always some blip that comes up, but I just thought it was a good tribute to start out with somebody that was so influential.
It's so iconic.
Yes, I agree. I mean, President Barack Obama gave her the Presidential Medal of Freedom for her work for advocating for rights of women. That's just so cool.
Agreed. I think you chose really well. Good job.
I do too. And thank you for this awesome series.
I like this segment. I think it's cool.
I do too. I really do like it.
I've been thinking of some people and have a couple on my list that we should take a look into. So it really kind of opened my eyes and ears to pay attention.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's what this show is all about. is
Yeah.
us women talking sports and bringing attention to not only women in sports, but that we can talk about sports just like the guys can.
Sometimes with an even more interesting view of what we see, because we can step back and look at it instead of like through a narrow focus. We sometimes have the broader vision and seeing the bigger picture. I feel like at times, but that's just us bragging on each other, and you know, we're amazing. So there's that.
We are amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm so amazing. I can't spell the word chicks, y'all.
We have a cheerleader in the background tonight.
Okay, sorry. So we've had a little bit of a couple of upsets today in the NCAA. So what are our thoughts on this, ladies? I know Furman beat Virginia. Coach Bennett, who at the NCAA tip-off was very adamant about them going the distance this year, and I actually kind of bought into it a little bit, but then I was like, it's Virginia. Hi, Jordan. Sorry your bracket's busted, but you should have known better. Virginia screws it up every year, but I can't say much since my team didn't even go.
Yeah, like that's No, the Tar Heels really showed out, and never mind. I'll be nice.
Don't make me view you.
So, I read that ESPN is reporting that there is only 0.065% of the brackets that have not been busted yet. So everything is still a go. And they are just now starting the second half of the games today. Is that not crazy?
That's very crazy. I mean, it's ridiculous. And I don't know. I mean, Virginia every year kind of gives me a little hope because they're in the ACC. They've got a long history. North Carolina and Virginia are in competition with who was the first public university really was. It was us. But, you know, I always have a little hope. Just a little bit of hope. But yeah.
Princeton beat Arizona. A 15 beat a number 2. A number 2.
I watched it.
It's Arizona. They're too close to the sun.
Hey, listen, I am not upset about that because I guess I could be, but we've got Mizzou came in at 7 that was supposed to go up against Arizona, and now we go against a 15. So maybe that bodes well for us, but it could also be we could be in Arizona's shoes too. So,
and honestly, Pittsburgh Panthers aren't doing that badly. And actually, a Charlotte native, woohoo, let's go QC. Actually got the game-winning shot today to propel the Panthers forward. Are there any big surprises to y'all other than the Mizzou game?
I have not been able to watch a whole lot. Today's kind of the first day that I've been able to just relax a little bit. So,
Kansas. Sorry about that. Go Arkansas for you, ma'am.
Oh yeah, Becca has a nephew that's on the Arkansas team. So yeah, she's gonna go Razorbacks for sure. She's going Razorbacks.
We will discuss the women's tournament next week. How about that, Mr. Long? This has just been a crazy game of poker. It always is. I'm interested to see what the biggest odds have been updated to.
Honestly, that is why I love the big dance. Always have, because you get these little teams that weren't, the little engines that they're not supposed to, but they do. And that was Zags many, many years ago. And I kind of fell in love with the Zags. I want to say it was like in 95, 96 time frame, but really loved the Zags. And now they're a powerhouse. They're a well-recruited team, but they were just a little engine that could many, many, many years ago. And they were the Cinderella of the story that year.
Yeah, they were. I'm just saying, I just don't want to hear much about Gonzaga because Gonzaga fans annoy the hell out of me. Sorry.
Well, no, and I said, it was when they were a no name
Oh,
that was really
I'm
fun.
sorry. He tore his ACL.
Oh,
I don't know.
no. I did not know that. Dadgummit. Well, yeah, we still cheer for him, but oh my goodness, I hope he heals
Yeah, I
soon.
hope he feels better soon. I mean, my husband's done it in both knees, so poor kid. I'm sorry for him. But I did not add this to the chat. I just saw this when I was researching something else. I'm sorry, ladies. So I want to switch over to NFL if that's okay for you with y'all for a second.
Sure.
And then we'll hit that question that I've had on my mind for weeks, as Candy knows. But Brandon Bean, the GM for the Buffalo Bills, met with Damar Hamlin. And Damar has at least one more doctor's appointment set up, but Damar does want to play in the NFL. He does want to stay with the Bills. So it's trending in the right direction. Of course, some of the follow-up tweets are, of course, our number one priority for him is his long-term health. Absolutely. But, God, I'm sorry. I shouldn't probably say this, but it's my personal faith, my personal belief that God can heal when medicine can't. And God created medicine. Sorry, He created the people like my friend Dr. Nassar, to help with that. But I'm just saying that's awesome. All right.
So I also believe that God has the healing that He provides is not necessarily, may not align with what we want, but the healing is there regardless. So, I think that Damar is a vessel for lots of positive things to come.
Well, and let's face it, NFL, they take hits. That's it can be a very tough game. I mean, look at Tua. We've talked about Tua. Matthew Stafford, he's coming back. Like, all of them have been, told that they probably shouldn't. I mean, there's a lot of them. It can be a very physical and tough game.
Yeah, it can. Even look at Peyton Manning. Okay, here's my question, Candy. Yes. You're a resident Packers fan, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I'm reading that Aaron wants to be reconnected with his boy, Nathaniel Hackett, whom we all know was not ready to be a head coach. Jordan, I don't want to see any comments, sir. We all know how you feel about him. But he just was not prepared to be a head coach in the NFL yet. However, I think it's odd, and I'm not the only one when I was researching this today. Apparently, everybody decided today to pick this topic to discuss. But why did Brett and Aaron both want to go to the Jets after leaving the Packers? To me, it's because the Jets haven't been that good. And I mean, Brett Favre had a better career than Aaron Rodgers did postseason wise. Mm-hmm. But it's just odd to me. Is it because they want to end their career with more wins?
I think for Rodgers, I think he's still looking. He thinks he can still win a Super Bowl, and he thinks that the best way to do that. And to be honest with you, what I read a little bit today as well, or last night, and he said that after he came out of his darkness retreat, that he was 90% going to retire. And I honestly think because when he went into the darkness retreat, Green Bay said they wanted him. When he came out of his retreat, Green Bay had kind of trended the other way and said they were ready to start love. And so I think he has this chip on his shoulder and he wants to go out on his terms. And I think Green Bay saying that kind of meant to him that he wasn't going out on his terms. So now he wants to go to a different team. He wants to go to a team he thinks he has a chance to win at. That wasn't that far away last year. Let's face it, they weren't that bad. They needed a quarterback really to get him to that next level. And he wants to take some of his players with him, which to me, you're starting to be a GM GM, watch out, because that's what he's doing. But you couldn't win with those guys in Green Bay. What makes you think you're going to win with them if you take them to the Jets?
Isn't Lazard already there?
And the interesting thing is what
that already there?
Lazard? I think Lazard's already signed.
Lazard is signed, yes. And there's a couple others, but like he wants Cobb, he wants Odell Beckham, he wants somebody else. He wants a couple others, you know. And I don't know if he wants to stick it to the Packers like Favre kind of did. I've kind of heard a little grumbling, and I'm like, I wonder if this is kind of true too. Not that he'd go to Minnesota after the Jets, because obviously Green Bay's not going to trade him to a rival. But what about him going to the Lions?
Really? Do you really want to put them on your husband? Do you really want to put your husband through that pain?
Hey, it's not me putting him through it. He can have him. He can have him. He can have. Honestly, I don't know how Rodgers is going to deal with the New York media, because they will pick him apart if he doesn't perform.
And he can't handle that. He's way too sensitive.
But is it any different than what he's already been? I'm just asking. Is it going to be any different than what's already going on? Because he is kind of the laughing stock at times on, ESPN and everybody else. So is it going to be a lot different, or is it just going to be that it's constant?
I think it's going to be constant. I think it's going to be more so because I think the people in Wisconsin and the sports reporters in Wisconsin give him more credit and aren't as, and even the fans aren't as negative. They're negative about some of his personality traits and stuff like that and what he's done, but they also know he's had one of the longest tenured Packers, and that is just a fact.
So why has the Green Bay news and the Wisconsin news been so lenient? And honestly, the national news so lenient on Aaron, because honestly, he's gone to one Super Bowl.
He's won one Super Bowl, yeah.
Won Super Bowl. Gone to two?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
And that was at the very beginning. So that was still kind of carryover from Favre's career there.
I think Aaron... Yeah, I don't know. Is he the greatest thing since sliced bread? No. I think the competition was a little different back when he started than it is now. I think there are fewer elite quarterbacks in the league actually right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. 100% agree.
You know what I mean? Like that makes a difference though.
Like,
to win as many as you can.
John Shearer, but why does Miami keep signing that no-name guys? They're like third-string backup quarterback. Like, who are you?
So, the thing that I find really interesting is when they were talking today is with Rodgers to the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
The top 4 AFC teams were Chiefs, Bengals, Jets, Bills is what they put him in. That was what, and any combination of the number 3 and 4, the show I was listening to, I was like, Miami, who has spent and given away everything,
right,
still is not ranking up there in the top 5, the top 4.
Exactly.
I find that really interesting. And all of the names that they have on that team, and they still aren't there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I need to say something to Jordan real quick. Carrie, you'll love and hate this comment. Jordan, you would have probably done better had Rodgers followed Hackett to Denver, because Rodgers already had that working relationship and Hackett knew how to coach him. Russell Wilson is probably uncoachable, which is why Sean Payton wants him so bad. And thank you for getting Sean Payton out of my division because I really don't like the dude. Okay. Sorry. Had to put in my 2 cents because you girls know me. Now, one other topic I wanted to go into before we close with Miss Carrie, but John Morant. We've all seen what's going on. Obviously, we know that the NBA has suspended him for 8 games. We also know for the gun incident at the club, which was just, I don't know what he was thinking. His teammates are saying it was immature. Personally, I've wondered if Brooks hasn't been a really negative influence on him but I know they played together for a while. But Brooks likes to start stuff. He likes to start stuff big time. We've all seen this. And but I worry about Ja. I'm proud of Ja for making that decision to go get therapy and to get help. And you know what? I haven't seen, and I hope I don't see, any crying memes because that takes a lot. And I really hate it. I was brought up the daughter of a counselor, so I'm all for everyone needs somebody to talk to. So good for him. Good for Daddy Morant to step in and really push him, probably. His dad's a very positive figure, not only in their household when John was growing up, but in the community as well. So props to you, Mr. Morant. That's awesome. He was also the one who tried to settle the beef that Brooks tried to start with Shannon Sharp. And of course, Ja went to go back his teammate up because Brooks didn't like Shannon Sharp saying that he was overrated. But him trying to start stuff, to me, proved Shannon's point. That's just me. Pundits are allowed to say what they want. I mean, look at our friend Jacob Christner, the pundit's pundit. He'll say whatever he wants. He doesn't care. And that's what it does. As long as it can be backed up with facts, go for it. That being said, I'm really proud of you, Ja, for getting the help you need. Some people are worried about the type of player he'll be when he comes back. You know what? Here's how I see it. I think if he can stick with his skill sets but have a better, more positive mindset, maybe they'll do better. Because that locker room needs a positive leader and someone who knows how to play the game.
Well, he was on the shows today. They were saying that Stephen A. said he's potentially the face of the NBA of the future if he can get his act cleared up. My only question is 7 days, 10 days enough to clear up any, to get your mind back straight or to help you with coping
skills?
How long
he's actually gone for?
Well, no, but I'm saying is 10, we know in 10 days that we know 10 days is that, but.
Well, he's been suspended for 8 games, but he could be gone longer for 10 days.
Well, that's what I'm just saying is how they determined 8 was enough and he was ready to go back. That was the other topic. It was really interesting because it's like
when he's leaving the in-house therapy.
I
thought it was an indefinite amount of time from his personal standpoint.
He's starting practicing back up on Monday because he can be reinstated. He will not be with the game because he will not be at the game Monday night, but he will be back with the team Monday, is what the reports were earlier today.
Well, maybe he really needs to watch out who he hangs with.
I don't know. It's like 10 days is not enough to have any kind of habit formed.
No, that's why I hope it becomes outpatient. But thank you, Carrie, because last I had heard it was indeterminate. So thank you. All right.
Well, that's what they were saying this afternoon, and that may have changed again. Who knows? But that's what they were saying earlier this afternoon. I'm like, I don't know. I hope that whatever he is working through will not be undone or set back by coming back so quickly.
You and I both. I mean, because here's the thing. This basketball season, I've lost a lot of respect for the Grizzlies just because they're on the court and they're off the court. Oh, Ja, what he did was stupid. I actually thought that photo he posted, I thought that was at his house, which I still thought was a big numbskull mistake. I didn't realize it was at a club until more recently. But I mean, dude, you're literally being sued right now. Now, we know your claim is that that the kid punched you and you were doing it out of self-defense or what have you, but still. Anyway, not a smart decision on any way. All right. Miss Carrie, you want to take away the final topic, ma'am?
Yes. So I learned something new today, and the best way to seal in what you learn is to by teach others, right, or share with others. So I did not know until today that there was synchronized ice skating, and there is a team that is stationed in, I believe it was in Maryland. As I was kind of running through this, they have represented the United States they're called the Hayden Nets, and it's actually called the Hayden Synchro, but the top team is called the Hayden Nets, and it is 16 people on the ice at one time doing synchronized, kind of like synchronized swimming event. This is a synchronized ice skating event. This year is 15 women and 1 man. They range in the ages from 17 to 23, and they go across the United States. The coolest thing, though, is since beginning in the year 2000, the Hayden Nets have represented the United States at every world championship, winning 12 of those. The 12th consecutive one was in 2022, and they are on their way back again to defend their championship. So I thought that was pretty cool because that's the longest stretch of any team sport across any men and women, professional, collegiate, whatever. It's the longest running streak currently.
Well, and I was reading too just a little bit, and you were close with the M, but Maryland was not the correct M state. Oh. It's actually out of Lexington, Mass.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Right area, wrong state.
Exactly. You got the right,
I even had the M right. There we go.
I think you got the MA right. Let's go with that.
I'll take it.
And they started in 79 from what I read, and they have 28 U.S. national titles. I mean, that's just really cool.
29 U.S. and 5 world bronze medalists.
Mm-hmm.
That is just crazy.
But did you guys know there was synchronized ice skating until today? I mean, am I the only one that lived in?
I kind of did, because when I was little, I had a friend who is a competitive figure skater.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Zero idea.
Yeah, it really was pretty interesting. Thank you, Kane. Well, ladies, we think all of us thank you all for watching tonight. Sorry, we're all a little bit off. Or at least I am. Candy's
we're missing Megan. We're missing our 4th. Let's face it.
Yeah,
the tripod is not working well today.
But tonight's been really interesting. Like I said, if you guys have any suggestions on any topic ideas, let us know. If there's any other woman you want us to cover, I will say this coming Tuesday, we'll be back on a regular night. I became buddies with somebody who, if you're an Eagles fan, you know this man. His name is Charlie Young, Charle, Young, obviously, but there's no I in Charlie. Look him up. We're going to have him as a guest on Tuesday night. And I'm really excited because, we just met. We kind of had an instant connection as buddies, and just an awesome man. I'm very excited to have him on. He played for several NFL teams. And I'll bust out some more knowledge, but he was also impressed that I am a daddy's girl. I think you all know that. And so I called my dad when I was going to interview him. I was like, Dad, I can't find anything online. My dad just started busting out facts about this man. So talk to your parents if you weren't alive in the 70s and 80s, because they will know about Charlie Young. Anyway, folks, thank you guys so much for listening to us and watching us. Sorry, went over a few minutes. But hit us up and we'll let you guys all know more next week. And see you in 4 days this time. Bye.
Bye.
Enjoy March Madness.
Woohoo!
Go Marquette.